Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to the Bowser analysis, and this one is pretty simple. Why I don't think Bowser is the best heavy. This is more so a response-ish video to Larry Lurr's video on why he believes Bowser is the best heavy in the game. In my personal opinion, the best one is Charizard or K. Rool, but I think Charizard definitely takes it in my opinion. But, you know, let's talk about Bowser. So let's talk about Bowser's benefits before we really dive deep into why I don't think he's the best heavy. Like, he's a good character, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely not the best heavy, as I'll be going into now. So, a few benefits, first of all, is Tough Guy. Tough Guy is essentially a move, or it's not a move, but it's essentially a passive ability that Bowser has, and I wonder if there's a way for me to show it off properly, because I have Ganon here, and Ganon does not have a move that can really show off Tough Guy. But let me see if, yeah, there you go, yeah. So yeah, there you go. I can still move around while still taking damage. The armor itself, I believe, does get weakened over time, so there's that. But essentially it's a passive that allows you to armor through moves and just tank hits. Mainly this is for rapid jabs, right? Which a lot of characters have rapid jabs, but a lot of characters have rapid jabs with gentlemen's, right? The 1-2-3 hit instead of the multi-hit move, which, you know, the only characters I believe with multi-hits are, like, I believe Fox or Mii Brawler, right? Where they just don't have the 1-2-3 jab. And there are some multi-hits that Bowser will just go through because of how Tough Guy works, such as, like, Terry's second hit of jab. He Tough Guys that. What's a good example? I'm trying to think. Like, there are moves that I'm trying to think that would essentially you wouldn't take like any knockback for, right? You know, I know there are like some weak projectiles that you can just walk right through, but ultimately, you know, I mean, it's a good passive, just not as good as people might want to believe, because as I said, a lot of characters who have rapid jabs have gentlemen's and, you know, like have the 1-2-3 hits, and, you know, like Piranha Plants puts you in tech chase, Falcons kills, so does Ridley's. You know, they usually put you in a bad spot, or they just straight up take your stock, you know. But Bowser is the heaviest character in the game, obviously. You know, he is the heaviest character in the game. I believe before the game actually came out, you know, before 1.0, King K. Rool is actually the heaviest character in the game. That was something one of my friends told me, and I find that funny. But, you know, K. Rool's the second heaviest. But either way, you know, Bowser, you know, it's just some fun trivia. But Bowser, you know, he's the heaviest character in the game. And in terms of, like, getting back to stage, he's pretty good at it, right? Because he has his up B, which has two parts to it, which is always so weird. Essentially, the first part you don't want to mash, but then afterwards you want to mash. It's really weird. Like, I don't get why someone would think this is why? Because if you mash at first, and it won't go anywhere, and then if you don't mash at all, you know, I guess it was because it allows you to go vertically. I mean, but it's really stupid. So essentially, don't mash, then mash, right? But in terms of recovery distance, it's not that bad at all, right? Alright, if I was moving forward, I could easily make it back, right? So in terms of like all the super heavyweights, he definitely has one of the more better recoveries out of all of them, compared to like Incineroar, DK, or even Ganon, right? And of course his up B is an amazing out of shield option. It's a multi-hit, you can move with it, it's obnoxious, though easy to punish. So if you want to like avoid it, or if you want to make Bowser think, oh, I should do this now, just empty hop shield, and if he does it, you could just grab him and punish him, right? So in terms of kill power, he's also got that, you know, and in terms of damage output, he's also got that, right? I mean, everyone's got hit with this move once or twice and, you know, forced the SDI out of it. And of course he has big range, you know, he has a big body, and you know, he just hits you a bunch. He like hits you a few times and you take a bunch of damage, right? You know, he also has a shield breaking move with this, but you know, it is what it is, right? The shield breaking aspect is kind of like it's only really good if he tries to like not actually do it on the ground, because the opponent is likely to react to the first hit and then roll away or whatever and then punish, right? And unlike, say, someone like DDD, whose up B has like stars that show up on the sides to essentially protect you, Bowser really doesn't have any such thing. So that lets you know on a few things. Alright, so in terms of recovery, he's not that bad. He's the heaviest character in the game, which means his sustainability should be really long, right? Like, he should be able to live really long. He can at times, depending on the character. And I don't know, I'll get to that in a little bit. Right? He has kill power, he has damage. He has not a bad recovery, he's the heaviest character in the game. And he's a tough guy. So why don't I think he's the best heavy? Well, I already made a K roll analysis, so you can check that out. But I'll also be making a Charizard one. And then I'll probably make a full-on video on explaining why, comparing the three directly, because like obviously you have to watch each one. But essentially, what I want to show off in this video is a few of Bowser's weaknesses and why they're really bad weaknesses, right? Because like obviously people will say, oh, you know, he's got a really good command grab, right? He can Bowser side, all this sort of stuff, and obviously, you know, it's like crazy up B out of shield option, crazy grab, you know, flamethrower, all this sort of stuff. You know, let's talk about a few things. So one, in terms of air dodge, he has, I believe, a frame 3 or 4 air dodge. You know, air dodges in this game are not universal. For instance, like Bayonetta has a frame 1 air dodge because of Bats Within. But characters like Sonic and Mac have like frame 2 air dodges. Most characters have 3. But what that means is that a lot of characters' fastest options in disadvantage is their air dodge, and for Bowser, he has a frame 4 air dodge, which means he's gonna get hit, right? Jump squat is universal, so we don't really have to talk about that. But you know, essentially, once you start hitting him, he's gonna get hit a lot, right? Especially if you juggle him in the air. There's not a lot he can do other than try to land with a down air or down B, right? Those aren't really that good, because again, if your opponent predicts, you know, reads that you're gonna go for that, they can easily punish you. Or for instance, something that I'll do is if I'm playing a character like Byleth, I'll throw him and or I'll throw him up or whatever, and then I'll empty hop and see the option he takes. And if it's down air or down B, I'm just gonna up smash and it's just gonna go right through. It's gonna hit him, right? So that's like one example of why that's not really a reliable thing to do. It can hit under plats, but I mean, yeah, it's only for like really tall characters, you know, tall mid-sized characters. So again, not like the most reliable thing, and still shield and punish, and you're good to go. So in terms of disadvantage, obviously he's gonna get hit a lot. He's a big body, he's heavy, he's combo food, and a lot of characters are just gonna be able to take advantage of that. However, there's another aspect to him that also sucks really bad, and it's something that I feel Larry Lurr didn't really touch upon was Bowser being tech chased, like in a tech chase situation, right? So the reason why I have Ganondorf here is to really show this off. So let's say you're put in a tech chase situation. So let's say you're put in a tech chase situation, right? You know, you didn't tech. These are your rolls, which barely have any distance, and the animations are super super easy to just follow, right? You can essentially react, and because he barely moves anywhere, it's pretty much easy to just throw out another move, right? He doesn't go anywhere with his rolls. Okay, but what if you tech? What if you tech, right? Theoretically, if you tech, there should be no problems, right? Alright, so let's just show this off as best I can, right? I'm only one human being, but essentially, if you... Alright, there you go. If you try teching, Bowser's tech roll animation sucks. He's body is like this gigantic hitbox that you can practically hit even if you're facing forward and he tech rolls behind you. There are moves that'll still hit him because that's how bad his tech roll animation is. He's going to get caught, right? So, and obviously it has a pretty bad distance, but the animation itself is just terrible. So in theory, you could just react to how whatever way your opponent, you know, tech rolls, right? If they tech roll away or in front, or they just tech in place, it's going to be easy to basically still catch him, right? Because Bowser is just going to get hit again and again and again and again. Yes, he's the heaviest character in the game, but I feel like that's for a reason, right? Because his disadvantage is so bad. Not to mention the fact he doesn't really have a good burst option, right? Like, like most characters goodest, or not goodest, but some characters only good burst option is their dash attack. But his dash attack isn't that great. Like if you try instant dash attacking, right? Like run and then instant dash attacking like that, it's not really gonna work. Dash attack has a pretty pathetic hitbox, right? Yeah, you can catch people off guard, but there's nothing you can really gain from this. It doesn't really kill, and it doesn't put the opponent in a bad spot. Puts them above you, I guess, but like you're fast, you know, and you do have a good up air, but you're basically wanting to go for a sour spot hitbox, you know, because then they'll put them like on a platform like that. But most times you're not gonna be able to get that, right? But you know, as a burst option, it's not that good. It's slow, small hitbox, and even if it hits, it's not really going to put your opponent in a bad spot, right? You know, in terms of being, you know, in that sort of situation. Another thing is obviously people bring up uppy out of shield, which is good, like I mentioned before, but as I also mentioned, if you do empty hops, right? So in this scenario, if Ganon jumps, right, and empty hops, right, or does a short hop, and Bowser tries to go for a up B, again, I'm only one person, so it's kind of hard to show this sort of stuff off, but if you if you empty hop and just shield and hold your shield, you can just punish Bowser afterwards, right? The only really obnoxious thing about Bowser is, of course, the grab, in that sort of sense, right? Like, it's a really good grab, don't get me wrong. This side B, super good, right? And obviously he has kill throws and all this sort of stuff, and like I mentioned, his other benefits. But in my opinion, because of Bowser's horde disadvantage, no real burst options, and I mean, kind of predictable game plan, not gonna lie. I mean, let me put it to you like this. Leon, the best Bowser in the world, was dominating essentially at one point during Smash Ultimate. I think like 2019 he was like winning, or at least making it to top 8 a bunch, but as time went by, you may have noticed he was stagnating. You know, he wasn't placing as well, and people that he would beat were starting to beat him, right? The thing about Bowser is that once you kind of learn these things about him, or once you learn how do I say, like the list of weaknesses Bowser has, once you learn the matchup, essentially, Bowser kind of just crumbles, you know? Like, he's still a good character, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things where it's like, once you kind of understand how Bowser functions, then there's not really a lot Bowser can do, right? Even with his, you know, better than average super heavyweight recovery, it's still pretty easy to edge guard. Let's be real with ourselves. Yes, it does have a hitbox above him, and that's really good and all, but against characters like disjoints, that's not really going to be an issue. Even Ganon here could like nair the up B, right? So a falling nair from stage will catch him, or you know, just drop down up B, you know, and hit them for that. You know, hit Bowser in that sense. So, you know, even though he has a better than average recovery amongst other super heavyweights, it's still easy to edge guard. It's still easy to deal with. Whereas, like, say, like, as an example, Charizard has super armor on its up B. So obviously, if you try edge guarding it, it's not really gonna work because he's just gonna tank through a hit and still make it back. You know what I mean? I believe it's actually heavy armor, not super armor, and only super armor on the ground, but either way, it has armor regardless, right? So there's not really a lot you're going to be able to do against Charizard's up B, right? And Charizard has a really good recovery. I think, in my opinion, the best recovery out of all the super heavyweights. And overall, yeah, those are really my opinions on Bowser. I don't think Bowser is bad. Like, that's not what the point of this video was. It was just me elaborating on some things that I felt were not said about Bowser, you know? Because I think Leon's performance kind of just says a lot about this character, where it's mainly just a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. Like, the character's not a gimmick, but what I'm saying is that it's essentially, the gimmick itself is just lack of matchup experience. Once you, like I said, once you kind of get Bowser, or even the player, right? If it's the player specifically, once you understand the habits or what Bowser wants to go for in a match, it's easy to, it's still not like super easy to beat him as I made it out to be. Like, it's still kind of difficult to deal with Bowser, but I would still say, because he has such a poor disadvantage, all this sort of stuff, compared to like K. Rool, who has like zoning, not, you know, a pretty decent disadvantage. Say decent, not the best, but decent, right? You know, K. Rool, who has those sort of things, or Charizard, who has like a really good out of shield option, you know, or has ways of dealing with his opponents in disadvantage, or having the ability to switch out into like Squirrel and Ivysaur and all this sort of stuff. Obviously, compared to those two, Bowser is just sort of like, well, I hope you don't know how to play against me. And if you don't know how to play against me, then you're not winning, right? If you don't know how to deal with my character, like if you don't know how to deal with my buttons, right, that have like armor, you know, because tilts, like some of his tilts have armor, you know, if you don't know how to deal with these things, like my moves I could just throw out willy-nilly, not I actually throw out willy-nilly, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Like, if you don't know how to deal with these things, then obviously you're gonna lose. But once you kind of get into the motions of how Bowser works, then it's, while it is a annoying time to deal with him, you'll win more often than you'll lose. And that's why I feel that, you know, that's why I feel like Bowser as a character has fallen off immensely, because only one player was really doing well with him to begin with, and even that player, Leon, is looking for a secondary, or I believe his secondary is Bowser Jr., which is kind of funny. But I do think he's also finding someone else last I checked. So again, Bowser, good character. A lot of characters in Ultimate are good. Would I say he's the best super heavy? No, definitely not. I don't think he is. My personal opinion, right? This is my personal opinion, my thoughts. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about Bowser. If I'm gonna leave a link to Larry Lurr's video in the outro, because I feel it's important to watch that one also. You know, because Larry Lurr does state a lot of the benefits to Bowser, and I didn't want to like list everything, right? So I hope that you at least enjoyed my video and my take, right? It was just sort of my response, and maybe, you know, maybe I'm downplaying a lot of what Bowser can do, and yeah, that could be the case. But again, like, as an example, I remember a lot of Inklings would say they'll lose to Bowser, right? Because of like things like Tough Guy. Because if Tough Guy exists, how are you supposed to get your ink off? And then, you know, and then you start realizing, oh wait, Inkling can literally combo this character for days, and there's nothing Bowser can do about it. He'll be constantly in disadvantage, and whenever he tries to throw out an option, Inkling will literally have like no lag, right, and punish him. Or for instance, like up B out of shield, guess what? Bear, how are you supposed to deal with this move? Even if you up B it, I'm gonna be away from you, far away enough that once you recover, I can literally grab you and hit you and you lose, right? So yeah, sure, I may not be able to get the like ink on you and thus deal that crazy damage that Inkling can with like full on ink, but it doesn't matter if you literally can't play the game. That's essentially what Bowser is. He just can't play the game. And once you know that, it's kind of downhill from there. But let me know what your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Again, when it comes to Smash analysis, if there's something I missed, or if there's something I'm wrong about, or if there's something that I just didn't know and you would like to tell me, let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to discussion. as long as it's not, you know, anything like rude or whatever. Like, obviously I'm gonna read every comment, whatever, regardless of the tone of the comment, you know. But just understand that, you know, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, and obviously I can be wrong, and I can accept that I'm wrong, because I'm not, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like I said, let me know if you agree or disagree. Take care of yourself. Let's reach 1,000 subs, shall we? It would be quite nice, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace!